Alright, here we are back in
Radiant's
game
team
2
pick.
of the CEVO Season 2 playoffs. Round 2 in the upper bracket between Fabulous Phagos and Phantoms.ESports.
Dire team
This is game
pick.
2 of a best of 3. I'm Helium from FMBP Dota.
Dire team
And
ban.
again, CEVO draft going pretty fast. Coming back a little late into it anyways. Want to get some water, I won't lie. But bans, roughly the same as last game, maybe switching the teams up a little. But Nakes, Batrider, and Wisp again taken out this game as they were
10
last game.
seconds
So
remaining.
not a whole big surprise there. Darkseer taken out as it did cause a bit of an issue in the early game. The roaming Darkseer actually getting a
Dire
lot
team
done.
ban.
Andrew Riley playing a nice one and made breaking the high ground just a little bit harder there for Fabulous Phagos into the later stretches of the game. And then immediately after that, see a very strong mid that generally wins his lane unless it happens to be against
10
a
seconds
Razor
remaining.
or a Kunkka, and then a Nyx banned out. So Nyx and OD taken
5
out.
seconds
And let's get
remaining.
into the picks. So Phagos once again going for the Visage and
Radiant's
the Alchemist,
team
so something
banned.
they like to run a lot. If it
Radiant
ain't
team
broke,
pick.
don't fix it. I want to say that's how the slogan goes. So picking up Visage Alchemist again. My idioms apparently aren't very good. Naga Siren and a
Dire
Weaver.
team
So
pick.
they had the Naga Siren last game on the side of Phantoms, played by Hotaroos. Had some really nice sleeps to disrupt some team fights all throughout that game. Weaver was banned out last time by Fabulous Phagos, so they pick it up this time as their second pick, and opting to go with a third pick Rubik. So just a very versatile support, can steal Soul Assumption, Unstable Concoction, Greevil's Greed, anything like that, and anything else that gets picked. Obviously, Rubik can steal those
10
spells.
seconds
Again,
remaining.
always a good hero, but only as good as what he's paired with.
5
Should go
seconds
well with the Naga
remaining.
Siren, the pickup into a Riptide. That's a lot of damage. Riptide Fade Bolt pickup into a net. A lot of
Razor
damage, a lot of
time.
lockdown. So really great supports actually for a Weaver. Aggressive or defensively, so we'll see how they decide to run that. If that is indeed their tri-lane, there's a good chance it is. There's an okay chance it's not. Weaver can go off lane, can go mid under the right circumstances, or maybe another aggressive lane with Weaver bottom. I don't know. I guess that can kind of be the case for really any versatile carrier hero. But some more bans coming out. So again, Jakiro banned out, getting some hate this game. Banned out twice now. One spot Esports in the first game, I believe, getting banned out here again by Phagos in game 2. Clockwork taken out again. A hero that was played last game by It's Better With Bacon, had some really nice cogs, really nice hook-ins to get some pickoffs. Gave Andrew Riley a pretty hard time as a Darkseer, always hooking into him, trying to disrupt his wall. And then maybe a
Radiant's
little greedy
team
pick or
pick.
just an Admiral Bulldog style off-lane Lone Druid is that third pickup there for Phagos. So a lot of late-game carry potential. Last game, they did all Magic Burst on the side of Phagos. Pretty much backed up by an early Battle Fury jungle farming Alchemist, which was enough actually to win them the late game. They fell behind pretty substantially in the early game, maybe like to a 5-7k gold deficit. But
10
with that
seconds
Alchemist firing up,
remaining.
just so much stronger than that Morphling. I thought maybe with the Morphling
5
replicate
seconds
onto the
remaining.
Alchemist, he could get it done. Actually, that never really happened because it was always used to
Reserve
escape
time.
as the ganks were pretty much coming out fast and furious there with the clock and the puck on the side of Phagos. But anyway, different game now. This time, going with Lone Druid, maybe to get some more early tower pushing or just more early involvement as 5, and not going to bank so much on a 4 protect 1 strategy through the early mid game on that side now. But over to Phantoms now, waiting for their 4th pick. Again, we have the Naga Siren, opting it to be their first pick. I think it was the first or second pick in both of their games so far. So that pick came out again a little before TI3, so we've seen it before then, and maybe they sort of discovered it on their own anyways. I don't want to just call everyone an imitator if they pick Naga Siren. But either way, good hero, and it looks like the way Hotaroos played it last game, they kind of have mastered the way to play the Naga Siren. They just maybe didn't have enough carry in that Morphling to really get it done in the late game with their 4 protect 1 strategy, which obviously won the early and mid game, but they didn't have a carry like an Alchemist. So possibly why Lone Druid's picked up. Even after a Weaver, they probably really want to dodge that lane or just run him off lane, so he'll never really come in contact with Weaver anyways, unless it's 1 versus 1. But not likely to be the case. I don't know, we'll see. I guess they could do a lot of things. They could make sure Phantoms could lane the Weaver versus the Lone Druid, because it generally wins. I mean, there's a small chance it doesn't, depending on entangle luck from the Lone Druid, but it should win. the Weaver that is. So they could just go for that matchup, as now they've picked up a Gyro. So again, another good defensive or aggressive trialing here with Naga Rubik Gyro, or substitute Gyro for the Weaver. Vice versa. Gyro doesn't do terrible versus Lone Druid. I don't know. At level 5, fun time, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. As we see, Queen of Pain, who was banned last game in Game 1, she's gonna come into play. Haven't seen her a whole lot. Didn't really see her at TI3. I think she played like 4 games and went like 1-3. So it wasn't amazing. And I think the reason for that she kind of dropped off is because the OD was favored so highly. Although he was banned a lot and didn't even have that high of a win rate, I believe.
10 seconds remaining.
So I guess he is balanced after all. Who would have thought? But anyway,
5 seconds
Shadow
remaining.
Demon banned out by Phantoms.ESports as their last band in the puck. Blarg played.
Radiant team pick.
When it mattered in the late game, in the early game, in some team fights, he played a really good puck. Was able to get his items despite having a pretty tough time in the mid lane versus Sneaks and a puck versus Windrunner matchup, which is kind of understandable. I mean, you use your phase shift a little too early. A 360 damage power shot, that's like 4/5 of puck's health. So it can get pretty dangerous when you're puck, and we saw that puck died quite a few times solo to the Windrunner in the mid lane, but made up for it later, able to get up a Blink, Boots, Sheepstick, and have some really nice Dream Coils throughout the game. And so being banned out, they don't want to play against it, and they don't want to play it this time, as they already have the Quap for their mid lane. Now they're just going to need another support for their last pick here. Nyx, okay, I was going to say it's probably going to be Nyx, but it looks like he was the first ban in the second phase of banning here for Phantoms. As they've got 2 seconds to pick their pick. They better hurry up and do it, and indeed they do. They're probably like, do you really want this? Do you really want this? They're going to pick up the Tinker. Got a bit of a Rocket strat going. They banned out the other Rocket Boy, Clockwork, but at least they got Tinker and Gyrocopter to throw out some rockets this game. Likely to be the mid. Should be interesting. Stack some Ancients. They are on the Radiant, so it's pretty easy to do for Tinker by himself in the mid lane. And a Leshrac is going to be that pickup, that last pickup by Fabulous Fagos. So Rarsum going to be playing that Lesh. Interesting. There's really no setup stun for that. Oh, okay, Concoction, I guess. I kind of forgot about that. We'll forget about that. But anyway, we'll introduce the Radiant this time. So on the Radiant, we have Phantoms.ESports. We've got Sneaks going mid lane on this Tinker, so looks like played a really fantastic Windrunner actually last game. Lots of shackles, lots of key shackles, lots of good solo pickoffs. Even Realm barely got a double kill. So Sneaks playing the Tinker this game, going to be a little bit of a different playstyle on that hero. In the bottom defensive tri-lane, we have Unicorn Power here with the standard build for that lane. But Unicorn Power playing the Gyro, Azway, Wards, lots of regen playing the Rubik. Hadaruz, he's got Sentry Ward, Smoke, and again lots of regen playing that Naga Siren once again, so look for some big plays by him. Bear, they're going to be greeted by Bear pretty soon. And once again, last but not least, for the side of Phantoms.ESports is Andrew Riley on the offlane Weaver. He's going a Magic Stick first, because I guess
I'm not much of an announcer,
there's not
but
really that many spammable spells, but I guess anything really helps when there's a lot of burst and you're really squishy. So gonna get a Magic Stick first, actually, to go against that. So that's the side of Phantoms.ESports, and in the top we've got another defensive tri-lane Shredder, once again on the Alchemist, Broccoli and Cheese, once again on the Visage. Rarsum here, played Nyx last game. This game he's going to be handling that Leshrac, got Wards, regen, pretty standard there. Better with Bacon, he scouts out the tri-lane, and I think not even going to go for a pool. There is a lot of lockdown. I don't really think they could kill it though. Maybe with the Rocket Barrage and the net and the... Well, they can't do net and armor reduction at level 1. They might actually have enough to kill it. So better with Bacon here on the Lone Druid. Just going to opt to go in jungle. So it's going to be a completely free farming Gyrocopter right now with the DD. So really going to get started off strong. Not going to miss a single last hit on the first wave, which sometimes you do as Gyrocopter. Doesn't hit for a lot, and you know, it happens. It happens. Going here for Andrew Riley. The stun goes out. He's far away from the sentry. Will they drop 2? If they drop 2 right now, can't really do a whole lot. However, you know, that's a 4-second cooldown. It's not off cooldown yet. He's trying to get out of here. The Split Earth is going to miss, actually. The Grave Chill goes out. They drop the other sentry because they know they can get the first blood. Or can they? Oh, that was a really fast cogs. It looks like it's going to be enough. That was a pretty strong last hit, it looked like. But Rossum picks up the first blood on Andrew Riley, who almost got away. Even with level 1 Saguchi, was able to get out of that with the... Thanks to Shredder with a instant unstable concoction toss. But anyway, in the mid lane, Blarg on the Quap. I don't know if I even got finished introducing. Blarg on the Quap for a side of Fabulous Fagos. It's Better with Bacon is up there in the jungle on the Lone Druid, and we already touched on the tri-lane. So in this mid lane, what's the build he's going for? March? I think Blarg, I mean, both heroes can push the wave really fast with March of the Machine, and Blarg can obviously push quite fast with a Scream of Pain. I don't know really how this lane goes. I'm not a mid player myself. I'd have to say it could go either way. Maybe Blarg is going to have the edge for just a little while with the magic damage. Maybe, probably the kill potential as well. Tinker doesn't have a whole lot if he's going for March on the Machine, so I give it to Quap. But Tinker's really not going to be phased. If he gets a couple CS in the lane, has to use his laser for it, it's whatever. As we see him right now stacking these Ancients, any CS he doesn't get in the lane, as long as he doesn't die, he'll easily make up for that golden experience off of doing the Ancients. Which is about the only thing to watch right now as the supports here for Phantoms. Again, just stacking up the jungle, ready to do another pull, trying to get the levels up as, you know, getting level 6 on Naga, rather important, already level 2. Rubik, still yet to get a point of XP, but that's what happens when you're playing the 5 role. Unicorn Power, I think yet to miss a CS at 14 right now. Lone Druid, jungling pretty strong. Sitting around 12 CS, and of course no denies as he's jungling, which you don't see this every day. Normally you just see everyone wants to Admiral Bulldog it up and do some pulling, but not gonna be the case today. Andrew Riley, how's he doing on his levels? He's got 2.5 levels. He's doing pretty nice. The Edict probably hurts him a little bit. A couple more levels and that Leshrac is actually going to become food, as they really don't have any reliable stuns besides the concoction. And I was going to say, if they don't have any more sentries coming out, which they actually do have some sentries coming out, it's going to be dropped. And 3 seconds on this Saguchi. Can they get it off? This will disjoint. No, it doesn't disjoint if you're standing by the sentry. So they actually pick off that kill. That's a nice kill to have right there. Got to feel really good on those supports. Maybe I'd have to assume Andrew Riley thought those sentries were out, because he was correct, because he knew that they dropped one here, and he knew that he dropped one maybe not right there, but in this general position, so he knew that he used them both. As we saw, the courier just delivered those sentries when Leshrac was behind the tree line, so he was expecting he was going to be fine. Sentry was dropped, and obviously he paid the price for that, and he's going to go down again. These are still existing. Probably wasn't expecting that either. Doesn't even matter. Another one was dropped right here, but 2 seconds on that one, which actually gave him the vision. He juked into here just to get out of the sentry range because he knew where it was, and then that one was still available for another 7 seconds. So pretty unfortunate. Andrew Riley obviously knows what he's doing. He thought he could juke out and was right in thinking so, but that time, man. 5 seconds left on that. Ancients being stacked up. 3 stacks right now. I guess 2 stacks. No, let's see. 3 stacks. So Tinker doing a really good job. He's got 13 CS from the lane compared to Quap's 19, but he's got that big juicy Ancient stack waiting for him. And now Rarson here, level 4 already. You don't really want to give the Leshrac too many levels. He's a bit of a snowball hero. Does a lot of magic damage early if you get some nice levels. And of course, Edict just absolutely obliterates towers. It's a pretty decent hero against Weaver, because as Weaver runs in and out with Saguchi, he's going to take a lot of damage from that Edict. But anyway, maybe we should touch the bot lane being pushed like crazy. They get that bot tower, and they're getting the top tower. So Weaver's having a hard time, but Unicorn Power is not. 31 last hits, tower gold. Did he last hit the tower? Doesn't look like he did. Now they're going for the tier 2 tower. A lot of creep wave here. It looks like they started pushing at 330 right when that spawns. Maybe I should be more clear. Right when the siege creep spawns at 330 on that wave, you can start pushing the towers around the 4-minute mark. And if you keep it alive, you can easily get 2. So that's generally the window with a decent pushing lineup or an abandoned lane that you want to take those 2 towers right at the 4 to 5 minute mark when you get that siege creep. It works out nicely, because they do a ton of damage to towers based on how their attacks affect heavy armor types. There's a wiki page on armor types. It's crazy. But if you haven't played Dota 1, you're probably not aware that they exist. So maybe that could be a good read for you. So maybe go check it out.
Quite robust.
Same reason why range creeps push lanes. You think they only do 20 damage, but they're a certain type. They have piercing like a javelin does. They have piercing damage, so they do more damage through normal armor types of the creep, I think. I don't really know either, but it's an interesting read. So I think they actually hit for like 35 to 40 damage, the range creep, so they really do a lot to push the wave, which is why, you know, if you don't want the other enemy to push, or you want to push and try to
Radiant's
deny your
middle
range
tower
creep,
is under
or when
attack.
you're blocking, you put the range creep in front so that it dies first and doesn't push your wave. So the more you know, I guess, as there's not a whole lot going on, which is why I'm just giving random facts. Stacking up in the jungle again. Rubik almost level 3 right now. Naga taking all the XP because Haru's really needs at level 6. Andrew Riley again in trouble in the top lane. The Soul Assumption, oh, I think it was on cooldown, maybe. He had enough mana to throw it out. The bugs are going to go. Gotta take that bug off. That does a bit of damage. And even with the Electric, actually, they haven't been able to push the top tier 1 tower for the side of Phagos. So not able to get the tower. And bot lane, we already saw they got the tower now. Better with Bacon here on the Lone Druid. It's going to head down 1 versus 1. Level 6 and level 6. So probably favoring this Lone Druid, but not when the Naga is sitting right behind him. With the Riptide, that's going to go ahead and just take off 3 armor of the 9 right now. So still pretty tanky. It's better with Bacon as he goes into normal form to run a little faster and maybe grab a rune, but not really rune grabbing time in 7 minutes. So who knows? I think he's just heading back to the jungle right now. Gonna do some scouting with the bear in the meantime, since he can easily resummon that. But let's check out this mid lane matchup, which doesn't appear to have even been much of a matchup, as Blarg now at 32 last hits. We find Tinker at 26. So actually Tinker had a really nice presence in that lane, getting a lot of farm. But he's heading top. He's level 6. Doesn't have travel yet. Maybe wanting 7 just to max out March of the Machines.
Strange to say, Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And then obviously clear that Ancient Stack. Now they're aware of the Ancient Stack on the side of Fabulous Phagos. They see it, they walked by it, they warded this, so they're going to know when Tinker's doing it, and that way they can go to kill him while he's doing it. So, I mean, it's no surprise that Tinker was stacking those Ancients. They chose not to block it, and with the levels and a bit of the gold that these supports for Phagos, Rarsum, and Broccoli and Cheese have got off of killing Andrew Riley, they're able to ward that up, afford the wards, and probably can kill Tinker. Although running through a march for this entire duration is actually going to be a lot of damage. We'll see how that goes when the moment comes. Tinker starting on it now. Where did I see that march? In the mid lane, I guess. Back in the mid lane trying to get some CS. I'm doing just fine, actually. It's 44 on the Quap now to 31, so he's fallen a little bit behind in the lane. Quap getting, solo XP, solo farm, has a DD bottled up as well. And now it's actually a really bad time for Tinker to be stacking this, as Blarg with the DD up the hill. It's got the slow off. And this is going to be the death of Sneaks. I'd say it's going to be the first blood, but I think Andrew Riley has already died quite a few times. And he's going to go down, no problem. The deny from Asway! Oh man, Rubik is like, hey, I'm level 3, I'm casually walking over here. Deny. That's big. He dies. It doesn't really matter. Blarg can't do this Ancient Stack by himself, but a big play there by Asway, walking up, smacking his teammate in the face. For that deny. That's hilarious. That's probably not hilarious if you're Blarg, but if you're anyone else, even on Blarg's team, it's probably pretty funny. But now the push finally comes on the top lane. Shredder going to be able to last at this tower. No problem. He's got that. He went Midas just to have a little more impact this game. Not going to go Battle Fury, I don't think. Battle Fury Midas would be extremely greedy, especially since he's got Greed maxed as well. And did they de-ward this? No. They got to know. Yeah, okay, they got to know it's there, so they dropped the sentry now. They de-ward it out. And there you go. Haru is well played. And Asway well played before that, and some counter dewarding on the other side of this. Asway trying to go in, throw him back into the march. Rarsum taking some damage. The rest of the team is here, so there's going to be a pretty big confrontation over these Ancients right now. Shredder drops a stun, stuns himself actually. I think maybe threw it on Andrew Riley trying to TP out Broccoli and Cheese. Might actually be dropping here to the Weaver, who wants some revenge for those early kills. Rubik in the mid lane trying to get as much as he can done. Andrew Riley stunned up, sentries dropped. Blarg coming in, looking to. He already threw an ult actually. But he picks up that kill, so now he gets some justice, I guess, from that deny. Able to kill Andrew Riley, who's sitting at 0-4 right now. Probably not having the most fun he's ever had in Dota, but team still in good standings if they can get those Ancients, I think. Let's see, 2,000, 1,500 gold and XP. That's how far they're behind right now, which isn't a whole lot. I mean, we're approaching 11 minutes already. And it looks like the Ancients were cleaned up for Tinker. So he's got a Soul Ring, he's got boots. It's going to be a slightly delayed boots of travel, but he's going to be there pretty soon, as we already see him farming top. He can go back and do the Ancients again pretty soon. He's just about going to have him, probably 13, 14 minute boots of travel. Can really start pushing out the lanes and being a bit of a nuisance. Level 8 though on the Alchemist is getting pretty high. His max Greevil's Greed, and he's starting to get his offensive spells right now. The Acid Spray for some, it helps with pushing waves, especially just layering it on the tower you're pushing, so that the enemy team, if they contest, they know they're going to be taking the Acid Spray damage. So it's a great offensive and defensive spell. And then Unstable Concoction, he's got 2 points in it, likely to level that up first. Going to be great for the team fights when they start 4 or 5 manning to push towers, as they've got the Leshrac. Nice pick off there in Blarg in the mid lane. Some nice chain stun going out there. In the tower range, actually, from Asway and Hotaru's on the Naga and the Rubik, respectively. And Andrew Riley, I think, was there to get some XP, if not the kill. Yep, he actually did get the kill, even though Rarsum did land a nice split earth on him. And like I mentioned last game, Acid Spray works on Ancients, so if you're going to stack them for Tinker, you might as well stack them for Alchemist as well. Ever apparently talking a lot. But anyway, Alchemist is going to find himself in the bot lane in a matchup. I don't know if he can really win Unicorn Power. Like, this game looks like it's going quite poorly 5-1, but Tinker's going to be kicking in pretty soon. He needs 300 gold. Unicorn Power, he's doing really well. It's free farming, but as we can see, 4 heroes right now converging onto him. Alchemist, Quap, Visage, and Leshrac all coming for him. He dips behind the trees. He's going to know everyone's here as Leshrac grabs a creep. Shredder's going to stun himself, get him a little low, use that Midas. And the push is coming here. I'm surprised Lone Druid isn't involved in this in a 5-man push, because with 5-man, or at least have the Alchemist farming. Oh, nice chain stun going off. The net goes out. The ultimate by Blarg as well, but the wow, level 3 Riptide almost killed Rarsum in one go. Rarsum actually though does get a kill onto Hotaru's with the Edict, I guess, just leaving a trail behind. Asway getting pretty low with the Grave Chill. No Soul Assumption to follow up yet, not quite enough damage done, and now Grave Chill actually stolen there by Rubik. But meanwhile, they're just really baiting time. I was wondering why the Lone Druid wasn't there, because they could have just probably forced that tower down to 5 people, but instead they're like, you know, we'll just push top and try to get this 2-2 instead, which is a good strategy. Now we see a rotation coming in. Andrew Riley just really trying to tank up, not getting boots, as you're pretty fast with Saguchi at level 4. Not that the speed changes, but the cooldown reduces, so you can pretty much chain use it, which is nice. You don't really need boots. It's nice. Most people normally do buy them, but just tanking up, as we can see. Bracer, Ogre Club, Belt of Strength. I'm not sure if he's just building those to tank up, because obviously the Belt of Strength builds into Treads, which is a likely candidate for the boots. I doubt he'll build Assange. Maybe he can do a Halberd before the Naga, but that's unlikely. Just going to be boots, I think. Boots into a BKB, just getting the strength items first, because he really needs to tank up right now. And boots aren't a necessity, so if anyone is wondering about that build, that's going to be the reason there. Meanwhile, Shredder on the Alchemist going Midas first, with boots 1 into a Shadow Blade, so I'd have to say either the Assault Cuirass or a BKB. You're going to be coming up next after boots, tier 2, of course. Blarg rotating around with an invis, just trying to get something discovered. The pings come out, he walked right by a sentry, another sentry's dropped immediately. They're going to try to pick him off. Riptide just does a ton of damage. The rockets and the laser to follow up by sneak. They're going to pick him out. Really nice warding. The sentries, really nice warding and de-warding, and having sentries at the right times for both teams this game. Actually really doing a nice job. Although, that being said, both supports living in luxury, as Naga was just reaping the benefits of the bot lane, even though I think Asway bought those. But Naga's been reaping the benefits of gold and XP from the neutral camps, and then the 2 supports top just had a Weaver running into them and feeding them, so that's always pretty nice. A nice source of gold, income, and XP. Not that it was Andrew Riley's fault. I'd have to say he got somewhat unlucky, but it was very well played by the supports there for Fabulous Vagos. And again, just some more farming going on. Unicorn Power is up to 113 CS. It's better with Bacon, up to 91, but that's pretty much solely jungle farm, so he's doing pretty well. He's in a lane now. He's actually being attacked by everyone. The sleep goes out to cancel that TP, and this is going to be the first death on Better with Bacon, actually. He's walking through a march. The burst comes out. Sneaks. Tinker picking up yet another kill. He's got the soul ring. He's got the travel. I think he had it about the time I predicted, like the 13-14 minute mark.
Radiant's middle tower is
Asway
under
looking
attack.
to get another big item. And more wards, more sentries. The birds are out here. Visage is a nice pick. actually. Even though they had the Visage first and then they picked Tinker after, it's nice once you hit 6, especially if you hit it fast. As we can see, it's already blocking the birds, or blocking with the birds, excuse me, to stop the resummon. Actually, you can just leave them right there. They're not envisioned of anything and it blocks the camp, but sometimes you want to scout to see if it's actually blocking anything. Oh, nice pick up there by Asway. Shredder gonna stun himself. No, he's not actually. He's able to get that off. And actually, Visage dies in the march right here. He thought he was safe, or probably didn't think he was safe, trying to run away. And Rarsum, wow, everyone's just dying. Varsum, solo killing Weaver in the top lane. No big deal. Now he's in a little bit of trouble as Sneaks wants to kill him up here, trying to drop the March of the Machines. It's not going to be enough, though. He's going to be able to TP back to base. He's going to finish up that urn, and that's what a Split Earth and an Edict will do. That's what happens when you give a Leshrac levels. Level 3 Split Earth, easy to land. Level 4 Edict is an insane amount of DPS. It's like almost like being stuck in Mystic Flare from Skywrath, pretty much.
Top tower is under attack.
Maybe that was an exaggeration. And now I'm just reading chat, missing kills. Blarg taken out in the bottom lane. By a call down, it looks like, from the Gyrocopter was enough. I'm not sure if... Maybe he initiated one-on-one, but that seems kind of silly to do versus a Gyrocopter. He's got so much burst damage. He's got a Helmet Dominator, so he's fairly survivable. I mean, 15% lifesteal off of, what, 130 damage isn't a whole lot, but it's a bit. I don't know. Pretty hard to kill, and Flarg pays the price there. I think the support, as we see them pushing the tower, were obviously there to back them up. And Asway with the Unstable Concoction gets a stun on 2, actually. Tinker following up with some rockets and a march. It's going to take him out, but Rarsum just doing a lot of damage with the Edict. Shredder coming in with the Concoction, going to throw that down. Now Unicorn Power again dropping another ult. It's going to land on Blarg, so a pretty similar feeling. Or a feeling that he experienced not too long ago. Tinker buys back after going down, just because he can TP anywhere. I think he wants to TP top. The Glyph is used to defend this as he comes up to Martial Machines. Let these creep out of here. And yeah, so the push, I mean, not really a whole lot of pushing. Lone Druid's doing his darndest here to get this top tier 2 tower. It's about a quarter of its health. We see him back to the jungle. Then when Tinker leaves the lane, he goes back to lane and farms. So it's buying, or well, that's sort of helping. I mean, Tinker's pushing it back so fast that then Lone Druid can farm it safely, push it, go back to the jungle. And meanwhile, this 4 protected one, this time Alchemist is included in that 4, while Lone Druid is the 1. They're doing a really good job of taking the pressure off of him. There's been a lot of fighting. It's favored Fabulous Fago slightly as it's 9-6. They're ahead in gold, and they're ahead in XP by about 4k and 1.5k respectively. So they're definitely doing a good job, and they're taking the early game ever so slightly. There is a lot of late game carry potential in the Lone Druid and the Alchemist in terms of right clicking. That being said, Weaver and Gyrocopter do a lot in their own right. Naga can get there, does a lot of damage with Riptide throughout the game. Will likely go for a Heaven's Halberd, and of course Tinker is just going to be really annoying throughout the game with Skill Push and Sheep Sticks and Death Blades and nukes and everything. The net goes out, cancels the TV, Bacon in trouble, Riley your DD. Even with the DD, it felt like he was just tickling the Lone Druid, but everyone shows up actually. The whole team, all 5 come top to gank that, and likely have their sights on this top tier 1 tower. Although Tinker has got to go deal with other things. Rarsum popping that Edict, gonna get the tower, no problem. It's another last hit on the tower for the Lesh as he goes 4 kills, 0 deaths, and 4 assists. So he's actually probably doing pretty well. In terms of levels, he's still 3rd to last, but anyways, not worth 3rd to last as well. The push is coming in the top lane. Shredder trying to zone him out a bit, as much as he can with the Acid Spray, but it's really not enough. Acid Spray is at level 3, so he can jungle pretty effectively. He can buy a BKB if he wants it. Wouldn't be too surprised if the AC is his next item, though. I want to say there's not an insane amount of Magic Burst, but at the same time, I feel like I can't really say that. Tinker is doing a whole lot now with Laser, and Laser almost maxed. Heat-Seeking Missile has been maxed for a while now. Weaver Saguchi does a bit. The Fade Bolt actually hurts quite a bit. Riptide is again magical. That's another 220 damage. So there is a lot of magic damage that can affect Shredder, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for BKB, although just like last game, which he did, go for a BKB. it is kind of hard because the net goes right through it. But a nice stun onto Andrew Riley. Do they have any sentries? It doesn't look like they do. It does, however, look like Lone Druid doesn't have a bear for 15 seconds. So now he's just in the mid lane with his team. Maybe looking to just push down their throats or just trying to get some XP in lane as he's now heading back into the jungle here just to continue farming. And we'll see what his bear has when he resummons it. I can see he's holding on to about 2,300 gold. He's got Trinkle Boots, TP. So he went Midas, which seems greedy to go Midas on top of Midas. But, I mean, that being said, they're definitely winning the game thus far. I think they've got the better carries. I think they definitely have the better carries, actually, and they both went Midas, so they're going to continue to get stronger faster. I mean, if the game goes late, which, again, I hope it's really not IGDK status, but, I mean, there's the potential for a 12-slotted Lone Druid, which pretty much beats everything, so we'll see how that goes, as he does have a Midas, so it's going to be coming pretty quickly. And same thing with Alchemist. I mean, he's got the Greevel Screed and the Midas to give him those items very fast. Yep, okay, so not going to go for BKB, which I think I agree with. There's a lot of magic damage, there's not a whole lot of stun. The one stun that they really do have that's annoying goes through BKB anyways, so not a whole lot of necessity to pick that item up. However, it seems like they are sort of having trouble pushing against this Tinker, so with the AC, with the minus armor to the towers, they're going to be able to push a lot faster standing in that march. And I'll be happy if anyone starts picking up some blade mails here to actually just stand in march and kill Tinker. I think it seems a little gimmicky, but I think it's actually a pretty good strategy, because if you can kill that Tinker, then you can push, and that's really all you need. I mean, you don't have a Juggernaut on your team, which I think is a good pick versus Tinker, sort of, because you can just spam your healing, well, not spam, you can put your healing ward down and basically walk through the march, which is pretty nice. Though hunting, it's bear season, they're hunting up here 4 heroes, DD, oh no, Blarg had a DD, but Blarg's not hunting bears. But maybe feeling a little shaken by that. Better with Bacon has not returned to the jungle yet. Still really working on the next item. I won't be surprised actually if it's a Radiance. It's getting a little late, and you know, every support is a pretty decent level right now. But a Radiance is a good, like Radiance and Edict versus a Weaver. Weaver will die in team fights. Blarg in trouble in the top lane. He gets netted up. He's going to get picked up as well. The DPS coming out there for the sneaks, and that's a kill. Everything thrown out, completely out of mana. So Sneaks doing it right, using everything. So they trade. Blarg dies. They're not even going to trade it to too. They're going to get Roche in about 0 seconds. That's about all it took. And uncontested as Blarg going down. So I'd say that's pretty worth it. I mean, they drew 5 heroes up there to kill 1. They don't even get the tower, and they get a Roche. And then already Shredder didn't take the Aegis. I think they gave it to Lone Druid. They're going to go up. Stun Hotaruz does most of his damage. And he's going to be able to live, but not on a whole lot of health. Retreating back now. And looks like we got 3 up here now, Leshrac, Visage, and Alchemist. Just going to push out the lane, do some farming. The AC is completed at the 24-minute mark. And prior to that, we had a Midas and a Shadow Blade. So the items are going to just keep rolling for Shredder, just like we saw all throughout TI3, and just like we saw last game from Shredder himself. Yep, Radiance is going to be the build, even though it's going to be a little late. That's really going to help their push, and it's really going to hurt this Weaver, who's going to be running into the team fight. A team that actually doesn't have a lot of stuns, and when I say it doesn't have a lot of stuns, they have 1 guaranteed stun and a Split Earth to follow that up. So the AoE damage is really going to hurt this Weaver, the Radiance, and the Edict. It's just going to do work, I don't really think, especially with the bad early game that Weaver had. He is tanking up and he is going BKB, and that is all magical damage, so that's going to be great for him. So a pretty good choice, but still, I'd say that's the reason they're building this Radiance so late. And again, it's just a really flash farmy item and split pushing item for this bear to have, as Better with Bacon is about 600 gold off. Let's see if they try to gank him. Riley, I don't think he's waiting here to gank, he's just waiting for Lone Druid to leave so he can continue farming the lane. And speaking of split push, there is quite a bit. They've got Blarg here to deal with, you know, split pushing the way Queen of Pain does, clearing out waves, blinking into trees, TPing out if he needs to. just to really thwart this Tinker's split pushing that Phantoms has. And then the Radiance Bear can do the same thing, basically. Although Radiance Bear might be in a little trouble. There's 3 in the top lane. Asway, Hotterus, and Riley trying to fight him up. Here comes Tinker with the Magic Burst. They throw it on the Bear, actually. Maybe a bit of a misclick, but maybe just... They know they can probably kill both. There's still a TP, but they can cancel it. The Aegis goes down. They're going to get the Bear. They're trying to run it away. The Bear goes down. Now Better with Bacon going to die as well. Able to get back into his ult form after that Aegis, but it doesn't even matter. Now Shredder coming in. But standing in the march, you can't really go fight. The rest of the team waiting in the flanks here. They are going to go in. Oh, they have familiar stunts too. I guess I counted that out. They're going to find the Gyro here. Silence up. He's going to pop BKB, which dodges the splitter. He drops the call down. Andrew Riley on chase. Broccoli and Cheese in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down. And they're chasing through the acid spray like it doesn't even matter. Rarsum, though, pretty tanky. Not tanky enough to handle that laser, though, as Sneaks takes him down. Blarg going to TP to escape, or Blink to escape out of that. Now Riley going back in. Barely dodges that Quap Ball. If the Quap Ball connected, he went down, but they take out Shredder, and this is a 4-0 trade, actually. So they gank the Lone Druid, and Fabulous Fagos responds with a bit of a sloppy fight, and Phantoms nicely getting right ahead, I'd have to say. They were... XP graph is surely something. Gold going back to normal, and XP, that was... Sneaks, TP's into the mid lane and takes out Blarg immediately with the sheep stick and I guess the burst. I'm not sure how he couldn't get out of there. But yeah, so 2,000 to 4,000, that's a 6,000 gold XP swing into the favor of Phantoms, which is going to be great for them because that's where they need to be in this game right now. Since the late game carries, I'd still argue, are going to be on the side of Fabulous Fagos. It delays the Radiance a bit, but after clearing this wave and maybe heading down to the Ancients, he's going to have it. So the Radiance is up 28 minutes. I mean, it's kind of late, but he did go Midas first, and he's been getting ganked quite a few times. He's 0-3 right now, and he started in the jungle, which I guess is, depending on how good you are at the Lone Druid offlane, the jungle probably is a little faster if you're doing a Lone Druid in an offlane position. But because of that, they didn't really disrupt Unicorn Power's farm at all. As we can see at just the 28-minute mark, without going minus or anything, he's got a BKB, a Butterfly, and a Helmet Dominator. So he's going the right build for sure. Gonna be the right-clicking power that comes from the Lone Druid and the Alchemist is gonna be, you know, thwarted. I guess we can say 35%. Because of that 35% evasion on the Butterfly that he's already picked up, and then the lifesteal on the Helmet Dominator. So a pretty sustainable Gyro build, pretty good damage. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him pick up that MKB next. And I should probably just keep following Sneaks around, as it's kind of hard to do since he's Tinker, but getting a lot of kills. He's 8-2 right now. He's bought back once so far. There's the Radiance at 28-30. BKB, AC, Shadowblade picked up on Shredder, Sheepstick. This is going to be picked up immediately right now on Sneaks. So Sneaks now with a lot of disable, so the BKB just in time. Let's see if Blarg gets unlucky again with sentries being dropped. The backstab initiation though coming in. Blarg throws out the ult, isn't able to kill Asway off of that, and immediately taken down by Sneaks. The burst is just too high. He's dropping the march and the whole team right now, right on top of the call down, which is actually pretty nice synergy going on there between the Rocket Boys. Lone Druid trying to run around, do as much as he can. He's got a Radiance. Hotterus is going to pop to sleep.
I take no pleasure in
and Familiars, are they going to be able to get him? I don't know if they can. Suits, or Sneaks rather, tanking up Sheep and the Bear. Now he's being chased by the Radiance. Looks like they might turn this around. So far, only... Okay, there goes Andrew Riley. He drops, and he's able to get the Lone Druid, but Sneak's going to drop as well. Shredder just, you know, sitting in a net. It's whatever. He doesn't want to be there, but he is. Hotterus somehow lives, earned himself, I think, to be able to go back into the fight and throw that net, but it doesn't even matter. Shredder finds a stun. There's the familiar stun, 1. I don't think there's 2. And here comes Tinker. He's bought back a second buyback into this game. Does he have the sheep? He's got it in 1. He blinks over. He's going to sheep. What else can he do? He's got to recharge. He wants the sheep again because Unicorn Power is right behind him. Here comes the recharge, but no, he gets silenced, so he can't recharge now. That means Shredder out of the stun into a call down, but he's right-clicking away, gets a concoction off, able to just Lothar's out of that one, and now Blarg in a lot of trouble. So an interesting turn of events. Alchemist still somehow able to get out, just really tanky right now with that BKB and that AC, and hard to kill obviously with the Shadowblade, but Blarg, a bit of a different story. Quap normally a hard hero to kill, but he's been going down a lot. He's 2-7 right now in this game. Unicorn Power, did he get any of those kills? He did get Blarg actually. So a lot of kills going down in that mid lane. Brings it to 18 and 14 kills favoring Phantoms. Take a look at the gold, right about even in XP. So I'd say Phantoms in the lead right now. They'd probably be happier if they were a little more in the lead right now. Andrew Riley had a pretty tough top lane early on, feeding up a lot of kills to this Visage and Leshrac, Rarsum, and Broccoli and Cheese that he probably wants back, but they're slightly ahead. I think they need to be more ahead going into the late game as we see how unbothered Shredder is by Unicorn Power on the gyro. He takes pretty much no damage, just stood in a call down, stood in a rocket barrage, or whatever that's what it's called. Yeah, I mean, it just really wasn't bothered by that, so they're going to need to pull out some more damage to be able to take down these extremely tanky, high armor carries and high damage dealing carries that Fabulous Fagos has. And Roche respawning pretty soon. They gave it to the Lone Druid last time, then he got ganked up here, and because he had the Aegis Fabulous Fagos, was trying to come back in from this side with one Alchemist from the top, but it really did not go in their favor at all. I don't think they actually killed anyone. It was pretty much a complete team wipe, maybe only Shredder getting out, and that's really what turned this graph around starting at the 25-minute mark, so that's what started that off. But it might be another story here if they get this next Roche. And speaking of this pretty much survivability gyrocopter build, he's finished his Satanic now. Does still need a little bit more right click. He's only hitting for about 240 right now. Could use a little bit more as we see them smoking up to get another pick off here with that newly finished Satanic. They're not going to know he has it, so it will be a bit of a surprise if they don't click on him, and then Fagos thinks they can counter initiate when he's low and he pops the Satanic. So pretty good idea. I like it. When you get a new item, especially if you're ahead or in a game where you need to put pressure, as soon as you get a new item, you should do something with it. If any games taught me that in StarCraft. But anyway, fight's going on. Net right onto Better with Bacon. He's taken down almost immediately. BKB has popped. Satanic obviously now popped dead. Still sitting at full health. And now just chasing around Broccoli and Cheese, likely in a lot of trouble. Here comes Sneaks with the Sheep Stick. Not a lot of mana to keep recharging and Sheep Sticking, so they pick off two. They're going to get another tower. And they're definitely pressing their advantage and doing it right in game 2 here. 20 to 14, getting another tower. The Satanic is going to be revealed, but it doesn't really matter. They gain some map control, they get some more gold. And probably still trailing just barely because of all these Midas, whatever. Unicorn Power in a bit of trouble. He's going to turn around, pop that Satanic. He's going to town here, but he's stunned up. You can't use the Satanic when you're stunned. And he goes down immediately. Roshan spawning in about a second here. Top lane, able to take out Weaver there with Shredder as well. So he takes out both carries. Hottery is trying to TP away. It looks like he will. Blarg TP's in and immediately looks depressed as Quap hunches over in a slumber. But they're like, alright, whatever. Roche is up. We know it. We have a timer. We keep timers. It's a good skill. It's a good thing to do. They're going to go right into the Roche pit. Probably clean up this Roche. Bear respawning soon, and he will have his Spirit Bear available to summon as well. And Rarsum doing some nice throwing down a sentry, make sure there aren't any wards. Just going to throw them both down and check them. They even have one there too, so they know there's no wards. So Phantoms isn't 100% that they're in there, although they're probably pretty certain. Maybe Snake's going to try to lay down a March of the Machines, but I don't think it's going to quite go that far. Maybe to like here. Barely. But anyway, Roche goes down 3409. The Rockets go out. They have some vision in there, but it doesn't matter. This time they're going to give the Aegis to Shredder, which, to be honest, I don't really know why they didn't do the first time. I can understand if you have the Radiance finished already on the Bear, hand over that Aegis, but he didn't. So I don't know. And the reasoning for that is when you die, your Bear is still alive and can run around and be controlled when you're dead. And if it's got the Radiance burn, it's a good strategy. Because the Bear is still pretty hard to kill right now. But that wasn't the case. And Sneaks again taking out Blarg. He's going to get stunned up here. Most likely going to go down to Shredder, who is probably not building a Radiance. Probably going Basher. But probably he's definitely going Basher. But he's picked up the Relic first here. Probably just because he was at the Secret Shop and wants all that right click damage. Yep, there's the Bastard finish. So that's an Abyssal Blade. Going to be, I don't know, still anyone's game at this point, that's for sure. But Phantoms has been playing a nice game. They got the game back around the 24-minute mark, but again, slowly starting to lose it around the 30-minute mark. So we'll see what happens. And it looks like Broccoli and Cheese is disconnected, so I'm going to take a swig of water, and I'll leave you with the items graph so you can check out who has what items. Gosh, Asway. Alright, but I'm back, and it looks like it's going to be paused for a second longer. We got a Sanj on Hanaru, who's getting pretty close to the Heaven's Halberd. Andrew Riley, Black King Bar, working now on most likely a Lincoln's, although that's going to delay his damage output for a little while longer. Speaking of damage output, Unicorn Power needs some of that. He's got a Butterfly, he's got a Satanic, so he's hard to kill. However, he's not doing an insane amount of damage yet. Asway, playing the 5, doesn't really have a whole lot at all. Sneaks, playing one hell of a game. Soul Ring, obviously, looks like Blade of Alacrity building up now into... What is that going to go into? A Manta? That could be interesting. Maybe I'm just not thinking. But anyway, Scythe of Vice, a Blink Dagger, and Boots of Travel. So Sneak's playing a nice game. He's got quite a few kills. Bought back a couple times, but pretty standard on Tinker since you can get right back into the action. On the side of Phagos, Blarg with an Orchid Malevolence having a rough game this time, actually. Actually, not the best game in the mid lane either. Well, I guess this is kind of reverse. First game he struggled in the lane, excelled later, won the game. This game, free farmed the lane, and then he's been having a tough time getting into the mid game action, getting picked off. High priority target right now for Phantoms. Better with Bacon. They really need to fix this. He has nothing on his person but his bear, rocking around with the Radiance, if I can find it. There it is. So Radiance, Midas, and he's sitting on 2,500 gold right now, but we got in the top lane Shredder. He's netted up. A Sentry is dropped. He BKBs to try to get away from this, which he will be able to because the net was already used, so he's going to be just fine. Does waste a BKB charge, and that was an 8-second BKB charge, so now it's down to 7. So pretty nice. Let's just finish these items. AC, Abyssal Blade, BKB, Shadow Blade on Shredder, so we can see why he didn't die there. He's very tanky, very hard to kill. Also doing a lot of damage right now. Broccoli and Cheese on the Visage. He's picked up a mech. He's got Arcane Boots, Observer Wards, and Sentry Wards as well. And then Rarsum here, he's got Urn of Shadows, Ogre Club, and Arcane Boots, and some Dust, and a Wand, so pretty much standard items there. I like the Urn build. I think you should always have an Urn on your team. Pretty much no matter the lineup. Either whoever's the better mech holder. I think Visage probably in this case. He's got a lot of mana. He's about up to a K right now, although Rarsum probably even has more. But either way, neither of them have mana problems, so it's not like, I don't know, a Doom or something that would be building a mech and can't use mana because his mana pool is non-existent. But anyway, I like Urns. Good early game pressure, can be used offensively and defensively, as I'm sure everyone knows. Then there's the Medallion of Courage, opting to get the mech first because he knows it's that important. The kind of 4 protected 1 again they're playing. But this time doing it a little differently, including Shredder. And Shredder, that's been active with the team, still able to farm so many items, and actually, oddly enough, better with Bacon, the 1 and the 4 protect 1 scenario. Being ganked actually a lot, and having to start and pretty much stay in the jungle. Hasn't been able to get quite as much, which is why his bear just sitting with the Radiance right now and not much else, even though we're approaching the 40-minute mark. And that Radiance, in case anyone's just joining us, he actually picked that up at about the 28-minute mark, so it definitely wasn't that fast. The ganks were well placed by Phantoms, but it looks like they're going to get this tier 2 tower, no problem, just pushing through. The March, not really enough to dissuade them, I think that's a word, from taking the tower. And Roche, we just saw the timer there, Aegis is reclaimed in 3 minutes, so they got a bit of time. They're going to work on the bot tier 2 tower. Maybe push into a tier 3 after that, but likely just going to work on these last remaining outer tier 2 towers that Phantoms has in the bottom and top lanes. Blarg trying to get his next big item up. Could be a Lincoln's with that ultimate orb, but I would definitely expect a Sheep Stick just because they need more CC. They need to lock down this Weaver. I mean, if we look at their team, what have they got? They've got, I said it earlier, Unstable Concoction, which is the only guaranteed stun. They got a Root, they got a Splitter for the less guaranteed stuns, and if any of those land, or the Familiars are just in the right place at the right time, they've got the Familiar stuns. So there's a little bit of stuns, but nothing too guaranteed. Nothing to really lock down this Weaver if Weaver starts to get out of control. He did have a rough early game. And let's see, Unicorn Power is getting close to some damage, but he could be in trouble here as the Basher is up. The sleep goes out. It's going to sleep him. Shredder didn't BKB in time. I think maybe if he did, he could have picked it off, but if he BKB, then he'd be the only one alive for Phantoms to focus. He's netted up now. He's in a bit of trouble. A nice call down. BKB by Unicorn Power. He's going to pop the Satanic. Maybe a little early, but I don't know if it's going to matter. Everyone dropping. Blarg getting pretty low. Unicorn Power being focused here by Shredder. He's popped the Abyssal Blade. He's going down. Naga Siren dies. I hear her screaming like a little girl. And then over on the side, Blarg with the DD going against Andrew Riley right now. Trying to kill him down. They really never chase the Weaver, just let him run around and do his thing. While you push lanes and get towers, the Aegis still remaining. They should put the timer on the Aegis. When you highlight the Aegis, it should say how much time is remaining. That way you don't have to just depend on the... That's a good... They'll do that soon, I'm sure. Put the time on the Aegis in the inventory for broadcasters and spectators. But anyway, pushing the tower right now. The March goes out to, make him go back, but it's not gonna back down off of this one as they just continue pushing, and Sneak's just spamming like crazy right now. But a two-man stun, that kind of cost him right there. Rubik and Tinker going right down. Buyback from Unicorn Power. He's TPing into the top middle, but the tower getting low right now. Aegis still hasn't been reclaimed. They got a while. A nice Orchid goes out. BKB by Andrew Riley into a time-lapse. Blarg gonna go down. Unicorn Power though getting 2 kills. Weaver and the Leshrac gonna go down. The Visage and the Leshrac gonna go down. But another two-man stun there by Shredder. He's got the Abyssal Blade as well, so we can go ahead and just use that on Unicorn Power when he gets the chance. Familiar stuns are doing a little bit of work. He's going to use it on Andrew Riley instead. He's going to take him out. I think he's going to get him. No, he goes down. Aegis not going to be reclaimed because he dies and he procs it. Now he's waiting by Andrew Riley and Unicorn Power, so he could be in a little bit of trouble, and I think he's going to go ahead and stun himself here. Maybe not. Yeah, going to stun himself up. You see it. He's right by the sentry, and my Dota crashes. Are you serious? GG. We'll assume he died. That assumption could be wrong. And we're back. Did he die? No buyback because of not enough gold. I don't think he died, and I don't think I was long enough for that whole level 23 respawn, so I'm going to say he didn't die. Don't remember how many deaths he had, but I think he died once prior to that, so I'm going to say he didn't die. And the Rax is still standing, so apologies, my computer is being a little weird, but Steam is being a little weirder tonight, so maybe I'm just going to blame it on Steam, but who knows. Anyway, back into Game 2 of the CEVO Season 2 playoffs, upper bracket round 2. Best of 3 between Phagos and Phantoms. Phagos took Game 1, and looking to take Game 2 here perhaps. Phantoms though giving them a bit of a run for their money. As we can see, there was a steep growth there in the XP graph for Phantoms, winning some nice team fights. But anyway, this team fight's underway. The tower's already down. Shredder doing work right now. The Rax going down pretty much alone to the Spirit Bear. So much damage to buildings with his AC and the Spirit Bear going out. Andrew Riley pops the BKB. Doesn't really get much done in the BKB. Abyssal still off of cooldown. Shredder pops BKB. He goes back in to get the Rax, and he will be going down here. He does have buyback if he needs to use it. And he does have Boots of Travel again. That was his Boots of choice last game as well. And I think the Bear, yeah, Spirit Bear is taken. Hotaroos, he's going to catch 3. Catch 4, actually. Blarg a little farther away, but they catch 3. Unicorn Power is here. Call down in 1 second. We'll be able to get them all. Rarsum's lifted up. Actually better with Bacon's lifted up. He's being held there. He's going one-on-one with Andrew Riley right now. Just in Spirit Bear form, or Elder form. Almost takes him down. Blarg, though, going to be chased out. He's going to go down. No, blitz away in the last second, and Unicorn Power gets a double kill, taking out the Visage and the lone Druid right there. And Blarg gets away with about 100 health, so Andrew Riley not able to clean him up. And he is going for the Lincolns, actually, just for pure survivability right now. So he's still not hitting a whole lot, but Sneaks, on the other hand, we got a Yasha. He is indeed going to Manta, which used to be the build for Tinker back in the day. It kind of changed since, I didn't really play back then, but I think it was either that Boots of Travel got added or that his ult became what it is now. I can't really remember or be sure. But hopefully my Dota doesn't crash again. That's the second time tonight, plus 1 interruption from Steam connection, which dropped almost everyone from the game. That was in Game 1, but luckily it kept the game alive. Another quick pause here. And I see that my net graph is back on. Alright, so we're finding ourselves a bit of a pause. 28 to 24, gold graph. Yeah, pretty much still in the favor of Fabulous the whole game, but there's that one team fight that kind of turned it around. So, I don't know. That was well played by Phantoms earlier on when dropping the Aegis off the Lone Druid, but it's been a while since that point in the game, which was right here at the 24-minute mark. Since then, Phantoms has been ahead of the XP ever so slightly. Looks like they took a fight. That was probably the one at the bottom racks a couple minutes ago, right when my Dota crashed, to drop that back down there. But slowly, they're regaining it. And a bit of an XP advantage, but at 43 minutes into this game, I don't really know how much XP matters. Gold, again, it's still pretty close. Still a pretty close game overall. Again, I know I've said it a lot, but I think there's a little more late game potential. A little more late game potential from Fabulous Fagos. I'm so used to turning my net graph on that I turned it on when it was already on, so now it's off the screen. If you happen to be watching on stream, if so, I thank you, and it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe. Every subscriber means a lot. I'm getting there ever so slowly. I think I'm up to like 47 now. If I could hit 50, I'd be very happy. And you might be very happy because sometimes my casts are really good. And sometimes the games are really good, like these two in this series have been good so far, a little bit longer, but a whole lot of action throughout and lots of big plays. As we see a smoke here from Phantoms. Haru's leading the way, will initiate with the sleep if he has to. Most likely for the Roche as it just respawns. Yep, there it is. So Haru's coming in with the sleep, available to steal the Aegis or maybe just disrupt the team fight and try to win the team fight. But it's going to be hard work as Shredder sitting on Assault Cuirass, an Abyssal Blade, Shadow Blade, Boots of Travel, and a Black King bar, so pretty much everything available to him that he needs to be tanky and hard to kill. Maybe a bit of a wraparound, but they're by a creep wave. The smoke is running out very shortly. On this side, though, at the secret shop, Haru's is sheeped up. There's not going to be a sleep, and this time he goes down. The BKB's popped up by everyone, even Rarson with the BKB right now, just doing a lot of work trying to chase down Sneaks, as he's pretty much the damage dealer. Andrew Riley. Let's see, Sneaks is going to go down to the Radiance Burn, I believe, or if not, Blarg. Andrew Riley chasing around on the backside of this team fight. Looks like he gave up on the supports, coming back into the carries. But both carries focusing Unicorn Power right now. He hasn't used his Satanic yet. Here comes a Caldon on the 2, but Blarg with the magic damage from behind. Even with Satanic, he can't attack fast enough. Likely getting bashed as well, but there's a first hit bash by the Spirit Bear. Yeah, I think it was the Spirit Bear. Could have been Shredder as well, but I'm going to go with Spirit Bear. And that's a team wipe. And they don't even go for the Roche, actually. The pings come out for the Roche. That's actually by Asway. I think that's Asway on the Rubik. On the other team pinging that out as their buybacks. Are there buybacks? No, there's not. There's a buyback on the other team, the Visage Lone Druid and the Quap, but that doesn't really help them. And they've lost the top racks already. This could potentially be the mid. This could potentially be Megas. And this is likely the game here. Let's see what happens as the Fortifies pop now. Naga has respawn. She can pop the sleep to buy them some time. There it goes, but it's not going to buy them 50 seconds of time, which is what they need. It's about all Naga can do right there. So it's worth the sleep, but I don't know how much that's really going to matter as they're just going to rotate bot. They still got a good... the Tinker's annoying. It does a lot of magic damage, but he can't stand up to the carries at all. So they got a good 20 to 30 seconds until the Weaver and the Gyro are up, and that's Megas. Well, they need the range in the top, but they're going to just rotate up there and get that no problem. And likely game 2 going the way of Fagos, but we'll wait until the GG is called to really give... I guess we'll give them the game when the GG is called. And they back off for Roche. So similar to last game, Fagos gets Mega Creeps, and they're like, well, we don't really want to get wiped here. Some of us have buybacks, some of us don't. Because I guess there still is the potential to get, immediately thrown as there was in game 1. So they're going to back off, they're going to take the Roche, they're going to be safe, and probably just heal up, maybe get another item or 2, and then just rush back in. It's really going to be hard for Phantoms to leave the base. Tinker is great at split pushing, and he's a carry, or a hero that could win a game like this, being down Mega Creeps, but very unlikely, because Tinker doesn't really kill towers all that fast. He just kills creep. Maybe the reason he was going for a Manta, actually, which he does have. He hits it for 157. I mean, you Manta up, you're going to be hitting for a little bit. I think you do, what, 33% damage? So he hits for about... should be able to do that math. 50 off the Manta illusion, so another 100 damage coming out of that. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. Game is over. The tier 4s are going down. Unicorn Power trying to do everything it can, but I think the carries here are just going to man up on the tower. Unicorn Power with a flat cannon doing a lot of damage, but he's being taken down here. He's bashed up right now. The bear goes down for the resummon. No, it's actually not available. Sneak still being focused by Blarg. Blarg wants some revenge, but he's not going to get it. He's going to go down again. The tier 4 still standing. Gyrocopter has finally dropped on the backside of this, though. Shredder is going to go down. He has an Aegis. Lone Druid's here without a bear, but the throne is exposed, and we can see how hard this fight actually still was for them to take 5-on-5. I suppose they're under tier 4s, but that's game 2. So Fabulous Fago is going to advance to the next round in the CEVO playoffs. Here Haru is trying to delay it a little further with that last sleep, but they're going to advance to the next upper bracket round of round 3. That'll be the round of 4 in the upper bracket. They're all best of 3s. The lower bracket still exists, so Phantoms isn't out of it yet. They will be dropping to the lower bracket. And yeah, that was the CEVO Season 2 playoffs. I hope you guys enjoyed. We actually have a bit of viewers, so if you like what you saw, make sure to come back. Check out CEVO.com. And also, if you'd like, you can subscribe to me. Also, check out Ever Improve, and we'll see what their announcement is in the coming days. But again, if you want, subscribe to me at twitch.tv/FMBPDota, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.